We got somebody in the room. How's it going? I'll see if a couple more show up before I start my spiel that I'm just sitting here thinking about. So who's watching? Who's in here with me? Say hi. I didn't need another beverage. Well, I guess I'll start anyway. It doesn't matter. People can watch it back. I'm here thinking about some recent jobs I've been working on. And if you have a small business, have your own business, if you're designing a logo, there's a couple things you want to keep in mind. If you're gonna do it yourself, or if you're going to hire somebody or have somebody do it for you. I would say if you're going to have somebody do it for you, ask them if they have experience with working with creators, like the people who are going to make it. And you're going to want to probably have a couple different versions of your logo for different applications, because a logo that may look fantastic in print, either silkscreen or direct to print, or direct to garment, or things like that, or sublimation, that's great. You can do super detailed, really cool stuff with that. But if you're going to do embroidery, that's a whole nother animal. You're not going to get the small details and things like that. So if you go with a logo that has, like, let's say for example, like a real distressed look to it, or really fine text, it's not going to work so well with embroidery. So what you're going to want to do, in my professional opinion, is either work with a designer who also is a creator in multiple formats, embroidery, print, everything else, or if you're going to do it yourself, to consult with someone about what would be doable or able to be done in embroidery as well as print and everything else. I think the bottom line, what you want to go for is simple, but yet get your point across. A logo is not a sign. A logo is a logo. It's something that you're going to try and build your brand on, that when someone sees that logo, they're going to know what it is. Like, for example, there's a swoosh. Everybody knows what the swoosh is and who the swoosh is. It's a simple logo, but everyone now knows what it is. Your logo should be simple and be able to be reproduced in multiple form factors. Embroidery, print, on a garment, on paper, on everything. You should be able to reproduce that logo exactly, so your audience, your customer base, knows who it's from when they see that logo. So just think about that. if you do have a business or if you are designing logos, even if you are a designer, let's say, and you're designing logos for people, keep that in mind. Make sure you talk to the people who are making it and get familiar with that. Like, what is possible in print versus embroidery versus direct to garment, screen printing, all the other different types of media there are to try and replicate your logo. Make sure that your design is consistent. It can be consistent over all those different platforms. That's what I try and do for my clients. I try and give them a logo that is reproducible on multiple formats, because I have experience with embroidery and print. We don't do silk screening, but I know the process, and I've worked with silk screeners to know what is possible and not possible. Creating fine lines, because the ink will, if you have too fine of a line, it's going to crack and break, and it's not going to look good in a short amount of time on a garment. Whereas sublimation printing is a whole different thing. You can have fine lines in sublimation printing and it will last a long time. Whereas fine text in sublimation is great. You can do small text in screen printing, depending on what size. When you're talking embroidery, you're usually talking a smaller area, like a left chest. So if you try and go with a real fine design, real fine lines, or like a real fine script, when that gets really small, it's going to be really hard to read. So those are just some things you want to think about when you're designing your logo or having someone designing your logo for you. Make sure you ask them the questions, what experience they have with working with what creators, and if they're familiar with all of the limitations of all the different print processes and creation processes, so you can make it your logo that's going to be your logo, and it's going to look the same, whether it's embroidered, whether it's silkscreen, whether it's sublimation, direct to garment, on paper, whatever. Your logo should be able to look like your logo no matter where anyone sees it. That's how you are going to create brand recognition. And that's my little rant. So we had one person in here listening to me live. That's great. I hope anyone who watches this in the future, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you think just talking shit, or if you have any ideas, or if you're looking to get a logo made, whatever it may be. Hit me up, and I'll see you all soon.